What's up, everybody? Welcome to our Wednesday night Epic Empire team call. You guys have been killing it. I am so excited about the Ultimate Portion Fix and how seeing what you guys are doing with your challenge groups. I know personally for my challenge group, we have been challenging each other to cook meals each night and kind of celebrating and taking pictures of our meals a lot. And so hopefully you guys are taking full advantage of that that new product that came out. I am just not a cookbook kind of person, but I'm very simple when it comes to food, but I've actually been really enjoying it. So April shout out, let's roll into those because we definitely have some already, even though we are early on in the month. So team builders for so far in the month of April, and it is only, what is today? Today's the 3rd, okay? Team builders, we have new boss days, in 34 days, 103 new coaches in Epic Empire. So congratulations to you guys for killing it. Coaches signed in so far, what is this for March, Nicola? For March. We have Brittany, it's covering at the bottom, I can't really see. I think it's this one. Brittany at 1, Megan Laha at 1, Kelly Caesar at 1, Audra Dunleavy 1, Kelsey King 2. Moving this picture over so I can see it. Cindy T 2, and Cindy Blasia told me how to pronounce her name, and I still am gonna mess it up. So I'm gonna go with Cindy T. Kimberly M 2, Stephanie S 2, Sarah 2, Holly Garvey 3. Melissa B 3, Chastity 3, Amy Alston 4, Brooke McCain 4, Annette, it's so cool to see you on here. I know you're going to be diamond again soon. 5, Kaylin 5 coaches, myself at 6 coaches, Katie Virtue 6 coaches, Shelly Swagger 6 coaches, Valerie Collins 7 coaches, and Lauren Anderson 7 coaches. So congratulations to Lauren and Valerie for being the top team builders. And here are also some coaches who have added to their team in the month of March. At 1 coach, we have Tracy, Jamie, Rita, Trisha, Dina, Blasia, Kimberly, Jerry Ann, Ren, I think that's Trisha down the bottom. I can't see the name very well. Jennifer, Rebecca, Molly, Sarah Stamper, Cindy Laniga, Heather, Kelly Slaughter, also known as Kelly Betzler, Lindsay, and Mandy. Is that for the month of April? Or is that one for March?
It's the end of March into this week.
Okay, perfect.
We're only into 3 days, but I didn't. A lot of people, yeah. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Got it. Love it. Love it. All right, next one. What we got here? Success Club. Let's see how we did for the month of March. We have Kimberly, and this is Success Club 5 and above. Kimberly M, 5 points. Peyton over in the UK, 5 points. Brittany Purvis, 6 points. Mandy Hazard, 6 points. Layla, 6 points. Morgan Blair, 6 points. Beth McChesney, 6 points. Samantha F, 6 points. Lindsay Duran, 7. Shirley, I love seeing your name on here, girl. Like, you inspire me when I see your posts. 8 points. Megan Bankston, 8 points. Kelsey King, 8 points. Kelly King, 8 points. Cassie Foster, 8 points. Brooke McCain, 8 points. Tracy, 10 points. And then we have Cindy T at 10 points. Katie Virtue at 10 points. Holly Garvey, 10 points. Shelly Swagger, 12 points. Annette Lynn Wine. I'm going to jack it up. Annette, I love you, girl. 12 points. Kelly, Annette's been with me since like the beginning. So it's so cool to see her back. Kelly Batsler, 12 points. Lauren Anderson, 12 points. Kaylin Fuller, 14 points. Vanessa Stike, 14 points. Valerie Blasia, 18 points. And trying to always lead the pack for you guys at 36 points. So congratulations for a fantastic March. All right, April Success Club already. You guys, we have people on the board and we're only 3 days into the month. Jennifer, 2 points. Melissa, 2 points. Sarah, I love seeing your name here too. 2 points. Megan Laha, 2 points. Candace, 2 points. Peyton, UK girl, over 2 points. Kelly Bassler, 2 points. Valerie Collins, 2 points. Lauren, 4. Blasia, 4. And squeezing into Success Club, myself at 6 points. Look, Nicola's like, woo hoo. she owns that. All right, so here's our big announcement, and I'm gonna cover it briefly because I want to give Scottie as much time as possible. But you guys have kind of heard this if you're a newer coach, but we do this push leading up to Summit every single year. I want to say this is probably our fourth annual Explode the Empire event that we do. And so leading up to Summit, if you sign 5 new coaches in the next 12 weeks, and this begins on Monday, you will earn a specialized Epic workout tank top, which is really cute because we'll all have our little matching tees. We'll have to do a Zoom workout together where we can all take pictures. But everybody who signs 5 new coaches for the next 12 weeks leading up to the Summit, you will earn bronze level and get a customized Epic Empire tank top. And then the next level is silver. So if you sign 10 new coaches in the next 12 weeks, you'll earn bronze tier, which is the tank top, and you'll earn a mastermind strategy sessions with myself and Kelly King for you and 2 of your coaches. So it's pretty cool. Kelly and I are very different in how we work our businesses. She's super organized. I'm like spastic idea girl. And the 2 of us would love to sit down with you and 2 of your top coaches. And so you will get the tank top and the mastermind session. And then we have the gold level. So if you sign 15 new coaches in 12 weeks, starting on Monday, the next 12 weeks, you earn the bronze tank top, you earn the mastermind session, and then you also earn a swag bag filled with my favorite things and Kelly's favorite things. So we're going to combine together and be like Oprah. I'm like, our favorite things, you got favorite thing. And you'll get all the prizes and you'll get lots of recognition. So we're going to be recognizing people every week as you hit bronze and silver and gold. And then the grand prize winner, the top gold level winner, gets to be my elite guest at Summit. So you have to hit all 3 tiers. That is 15 coaches added, and the person with the most gets, most coaches added gets to go as my elite party guest. And if there's a tie, we usually will look at your Success Club points. So keep that in mind. All right, what else we got? And then we added this piece on a planning session yesterday, Nicola and Kelly and I, and this is our Success Club winner. We wanted to recognize those who might not necessarily be in there building a ton of coaches and building their team, but are changing lives and filling up their challenge group. So Success Club winner is a minimum of 30 points for the months of April, May, and June, and you have to hit Success Club each month. So you could be in 5 and then like 10 and 25 and still hit it, but you have to be in Success Club each month with a minimum of 30 points. Now, I know some of you guys like Malaysia and stuff who hit like SC50 plus will kill this, so it's really exciting. And the winner will receive $100 of core cash. So the core is like our shopping mall. When you get to Summit, you get $100 to spend however you want at the core. So that's, you know, kind of recognizing you guys for changing lives and adding people to your challenge group. All right. Whew. That was our announcements. If you were like, I didn't absorb all of that, we will post all that in Epic Empire. I just wanted to make sure I shared it with you first here with my own mouth. All right, let me pull up Scottie's long.
And it starts Monday. Yeah.
Yep, starts Monday. Game on. Can I be my own guest, elite party thing?
No, that means you get to bring the assistant.
Oh, okay.
Party, right?
Exactly. Oh, and also, I don't know why where is Scottie's thing in there? I'm like scrolling through Epic. Can you bump it real quick so I can find it? Or just send it to me. But another thing that I wanted, why am I so scatterbrained right now? Hold on just a second. Another thing that I wanted to say real quick before we start, and I know that you guys don't want to hear from me anymore, is we have 5 spots left on the Diamond Retreat. This is the first time ever like we're running out of spots. So people are popping diamond every week. I think we had 3 diamonds in 1 week within the downline, and that was just really incredible. But we have 5 spots left. So, and I know there's a lot of people who are pushing for that. So get in there and get to Panama City with us. All right. Did you send it to me?
It's in the chat thread. Mike put it in the chat thread.
I got it. Okay. Scottie Hobbs, little backstory. I told the story on his team call. I was a brand new coach. I was an Emerald. And I invited, or my coach invited Scottie to come speak on our team call. Now, our team call back in the day was like dial up, put your pen in, and like listen into the call. And I sat in my bathroom, in the master bedroom, sat in the bathroom on the floor. I'm like, welcome everybody to Epic Empire team call. I didn't know that there's probably like 4 people on the call, but Scottie was our speaker. And I sat there and I took notes, and he blew me away. He said a really sweet, kind heart. He's a good family man. And so some of his accolades, start here, Success Club 10 All-Star for 96 consecutive months. I'm imagining that was probably when he first started. Elite Top 10 Coach in 2013. Elite 5-time Coach. Premier 1-time Millions Club. 3 downline coaches in the Millions Club, which is amazing. 5.3 million in total earnings. Former CAB member. 4-star diamond in his first, 8-star diamond in his second, and diamond in his third. His wife is a 1-star. He's been a summit speaker 4 times. He is an executive leader on the leader ladder. And he is just the most genuine, kindest, sweetest person, if you ever get to meet him in person, that I've ever been able to meet. When I meet these top coaches and you're nervous and you're a brand new coach, he's just so warm and friendly, him and his wife. So thank you, Scottie, for taking time to be on my team call. And I'm going to mute my line. He has all your questions that you added to the team page, and I'll give him the floor.
Okay, we're here. So 14-star diamond in the first business center. I know I probably typed it out wrong, but I'm super excited to be here with you guys. I just want you guys to know, like, I hear, what is it? It's like 8 days away, and it's my 8-year anniversary as a coach. And I want you guys to know, I feel like a brand new coach. Sometimes I'm like, how did that happen? How has 8 years already passed by? And I was standing in the elevator at the Success Club trip, and I was like, I met Lindsay on YouTube. My coach is Lindsay Matway. I met her when she was 3 months into her coaching journey about 9 years ago. And I was like, I'm 38. That's nearly a quarter of my life. I've been involved in Beachbody and mentoring people and building this business and staying fit. And it's just crazy. So I want you to think about that as I talk with you guys today, that time is going to fly by, whether you build this business or not. So make a decision right now that you're going to do this. And I have all these questions, and the questions, when Jatana shot them over to me, I was like, I saw that it could take the whole hour, but it could literally take like 5 hours to 10 hours. I could sit here and go through all of them in detail. So I'll go through them the best I can. There's like 3 directions I kind of want to go with this call. And I always like to just kind of look at the people and kind of feel the vibe. And then I just kind of go with, okay, this is what they need to hear. So I always start out with my story first and foremost, because one of my mentors early in this business, like when I first started, I said, what's like one of the keys? What's one of the top keys to success? Like, what do I got to do? And he said, the person who tells a story the most wins. It's just a simple thing. I was like, okay, I'm going to tell my story the most. So here we are again, 8 years later, I'm going to tell my story. So I started May 2010 with P90X. I won't go into all the backstory because I want to answer your questions really well. But I committed to, I'm somebody, when I decide to do something, like I go all in, and I'm not a very good planner like Jatana. We're very much alike. I just come up with ideas and I just run with it. Like, I have no structure for this call, but I know it's going to be kick butt because you guys are awesome and you guys provided awesome questions, and I'm prepared. So I committed 100% to P90X. I had an accountability partner, which was my coworker. We printed out the meal plan and we committed to it. And I lost 38 pounds in 90 days. Now, what happened in that time is I got abs for the first time at like 29, almost 30 years old. I'm like, whoa, this is awesome. I feel freaking great. I breaks and doing all of these things that didn't exist in my life before. Tons of energy. My self-esteem grew. I just wanted to work out. And what was happening is people around me were saying, dude, what are you doing? Like, you are not the same person as you were last year. You're not the same person you were 6 months ago. And it was just me saying, dude, you got to do P90X. Like, you have to do Insanity. And so I fell in love with that. And I was actually on dinosaur ages. I wasn't on Facebook. I was using Messenger. What was it? What's it called? Like IM? Like Messenger for Yahoo, or I can't remember. Or with one of my friends who was a mission companion of mine when I lived in Venezuela. And he's like, dude, all you do is complain about your job. You're miserable. And he called me fussy. And he's like, and now all you do is talk about working out. Like, why do you still do that job? Why don't you go be a personal trainer or something? And that started my mind shift of like, I should like do like be a personal trainer or something like that, because I was in love with helping people with P90X and with insanity. So that started the wheels turning. I put my before after pictures in the P90X like page on Facebook, and I got about 30 invites that were all scripts to talk with uplines and to watch these videos. And I was like, this is the dumbest thing. Be a Beachbody coach. Like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. Like, I'm not going to do something like that. So that was my intro to Team Beachbody. As a matter of fact, Jatana mentioned I have 3 million club members that are in our downline. One of them, her and I connected through P90X around this time. And we actually created a group called the We Will Help You with P90X Without Selling You Shakeology support group. And because we loved helping people and we loved like seeing people get results, but we're just not down with what we saw. So at that time though, I'm curious. I'm like looking at getting a personal trainer's certificate, all of that stuff. But it was just like, it's an excuse now as I look back to it, but I'm like, I don't have enough time. I'm working 12-hour days. And so you guys can know what my schedule was like when I started my journey. I became a coach. I mean, when I started my journey, I was working at 5 a.m. and I would get off at 5. At 5 p.m., my wife would go to work at 3 for the Hilton Garden Inn. She would drop the kids off to the neighbors. She would get home at like 11:30 p.m. So at 5, when I was driving home, I'd pick the kids up from the babysitter, and then I would raise them at night, basically like a single dad, and she would raise them during the day as a single mom. And we never saw each other except for 1 or 2 nights a week. So that's the lifestyle that we were living. So the thought of going back to school or getting a personal trainer's certificate, all that stuff was just overwhelming to me at the time, because I'm like, I don't have any time. And those were all excuses that I was giving. At that time though, I'm like, I'm curious. I'm a very curious person, and I like to do research and figure things out and all of that stuff. So I started Google searching, is Beachbody a scam, pyramid scheme, all of that stuff. And I watched Lindsay Matway's video, and it was a P90X transformation. She lost about the same amount of weight I lost. And she told the story about her daughter London being born prematurely and incurring a couple $100,000 worth of debt. And she was just boldly saying like, hey, I am a bartender, but by helping people with these workouts, I was able to walk away from bartending, and I'm home with my daughter, and I'm slowly paying off that debt. And I'm like, that's interesting. So I emailed her, and here's one of the keys to success, I believe, in my journey, is she called me. And she called me on my lunch break, and we talked, and she told her story again. And I asked questions, but the more important thing is she asked questions about me. Do you love what you do? Do you see yourself working there for the rest of your life? Are you accomplishing your goals? Is this what you always wanted to do? Tell me what your wife does. What does she love? And so I was like, wow, this woman, I didn't know who she was at the time. She was 25, I believe, at the time. And I felt that she genuinely cared about me and my goals and wasn't just trying to get a sell or sign somebody up, right? So we ended the call and whatnot, and I told her, no, I'm not going to be a coach. Not for me. Thanks for sharing and all of that, but no, I'm not going to do it. I'll just keep helping people without selling anything. So guys, that process, she followed up, checked in with me every month or so, and I told her no every time. There was even 1 month we had a promotion that, we didn't have challenge packs back then. She's like, Scottie, dude, like, I'm not even going to make you buy Shakeology and to get started, because I know you're tight financially, because I explained our financial situation. But she's like, I'm going to, like, there's a promotion that's starting, and the $40 sign-up fee is waived. It's $0 to sign up as a coach. And I'm not even going to make you buy Shakeology, because I know you can do this, and I know you're going to be a great coach. And guess what I told her? No, I'm not going to do it, because I was worried about paying and budgeting in the $15.95 that I was going to have to pay monthly after that. So that kind of gives you guys an idea of like what our situation was like prior to coaching. But the real root of the issue was because I know, and I think you guys know, if you want something bad enough, you'll find a way. You'll find the $15.95. You'll find the $600 for your summit ticket or whatever it is. But at that time, I was just afraid that I would fail at once again something in my life. I wanted to be. I hear my 3-year-old crying, and my wife's not here, so we might have a guest speaker here in a minute. But I was afraid that I would fail. I was afraid because Lindsay looked like a supermodel, and I was just me. I had like 224 friends on Facebook. I only posted like on Memorial Day or when one of our children was born. And so I couldn't see myself doing what she was doing. So the 8 months I told her no, those were all fears and doubts that I had that held me back. But it was on April 11th, 2011, so almost 8 years ago. It was 18 days after my daughter Ellie was born. He can't find me. He's still looking. It was 18 days after my daughter Ellie was born. And I just remember sitting in my cubicle, and like my habit is we have a lockbox for our mail. I go once a week. I pick everything up at once, and I do everything at once. And at that time, it had like our Blue Cross insurance that showed us everything that we were going to owe and what they paid and all that stuff. And then it had the hospital bill, the doctor bill, the anesthesiologist bill, and all of those things. I'll be straightforward with you guys. It was like $3,800 after our insurance. And we are living paycheck to paycheck, and I'm working overtime to barely do paycheck to paycheck. And my wife she's off of work for 3 weeks. She's just about to go back, and she doesn't have paid maternity leave working at the front desk at the Hilton. So we miss her income for 3 weeks. We're already paycheck to paycheck, and then these bills come. And I remember sitting in my cubicle, and I felt like the room was just spinning around. Like I was just sitting, and it just felt like the world was spinning around my cubicle, the world. And I felt this heavy weight on my shoulders. I don't know. Have you guys ever felt something like that before, where you're just like overwhelmed and you feel like you have no control? I want you to think about, instead of just telling my story, I want you guys to think about what those things in your life are and write them down, because those are going to be a part of your why and your motivating factor. That day, sitting there in that fear, in that overwhelm, I realized that my fear of not knowing how to take care of and provide for my family became greater than my fear of failing as a coach, of learning what it would take. And I stopped asking questions like, do you think you can do this? Is this something you feel like you can do? To asking myself questions like, are you willing to do whatever it takes? And so I went all in. And that day, I'm going to sound really like a dinosaur coach. I faxed in my application for the $40. And I didn't get on Shakeology that first day. So I'm a no success club point for my coach type of coach. And I faxed that in, and Lindsay sent me some training, which was it wasn't any personalized training. It was just a coach online training academy, which wasn't as good as it is now. And I went through it, but here's the thing, guys. I went through it at my neighbor's house. I could see right out my front window here, because we didn't have a laptop or a desktop in our home. We didn't have internet in our house. We didn't have cable. We didn't have internet. We didn't have any of those luxuries because of our financial situation. We paid our electric bill, our gas bill, our food, our insurance, and paid for gas to get to work. That's how we lived. And so I went to his house. I did my coach training from his front office that he had in the front room of his house there. And I did my getting started right call from his landline, because I had a crappy cell phone with crappy service that was like $50 a month. That had no internet service. My kids took it out here, but it's a Nokia. It was a Nokia MP3 player phone with no internet. And so and it had bad service, and it was like this big, so I could hardly hear it. So I did my getting started right call from her house. And I remember saying, she was asking about my goals, and she was saying, Scottie, what do you want to accomplish? What are your goals? And I said, I need to make $10,000 as a coach. And she said, I can't promise you $10,000, but I promise that your income will be a direct reflection of the number of lives that you change. Okay. And so I made a decision that day. I'm going to change all of the lives. Like, I'm going to change the lives. But then, like, I'm a numbers type person. You can see from some of our accomplishments, like total earnings and all of that stuff, that comes because I'm a numbers person. I understand and study numbers and know how the business numbers work to maximize the compensation plan. So, I'm like, okay, Lindsay, because I don't even know this is a network marketing company. All I know is I sell a product, Shakeology, P90X, Insanity. I earn a 25% commission. So in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, I need to sell like 300 P90Xs this year to make $10,000. That's what I'm thinking. So like, I'm like, okay, how many lives is that? And she says, you need to hit Success Club 10 every single month. Okay. And I'm like, okay, done. I will do it. And so I made that decision. It was a couple of days later. I was sitting in my cubicle once again on my 12-hour shift. And I remember seeing all these coaches on a cruise ship with Tony Horton, my hero that changed my life with P90X. And I was so pissed off. I was so mad. Sorry about the language. I was mad. I was like, what the heck? I'm like the hardest working person I know. Like I'm the hardest working person at this job. I was the hardest working person when I went to school. Like, why am I sitting here stressed out and miserable? And these guys are like partying on a cruise ship with Tony Horton. This isn't right, and I'm going to change it. So when Lindsay got back, I called her again. Lindsay, how do I go? What was that? And how do I go on the next one? And she said, hey, your goal is Success Club 10. All you got to do is hit it 9 months in a row, because at the time you had to hit Success Club 9 months out of 12 and sign a coach once a month, because they change the rules every year. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. And so I committed to hitting Success Club 10 every month so I could go on that cruise. So what I want you guys to take from that is, just like Jatana said when she was doing the announcements, we've hit Success Club 10 for 96 consecutive months. I made a decision that day when I had my Getting Started Right call that I would hit Success Club 10 every single month. So almost every single success you're going to have in this business comes down to first making a clear decision about what you're going to do. Like, I don't hear it talked about as much, but like Beachbody, decide, commit, succeed. I see too often, like 99% of people do decide, somewhat commit, and then when it gets hard, quit. Not decide, commit, do whatever it takes, and succeed. So I made that decision to do that. And the other thing aside from that I want you guys to take note of, so I made a concrete decision and a goal. Concrete decision to make $10,000. Concrete decision to hit Success Club 10 every single month and earn the trip to Atlantis. And then I tied a strong meaning and why behind it. And I don't need to go into whys. I believe you guys know about whys. But a why is a strong, compelling reason to pull you into action or to push you into action. So $10,000 equaled and meant to me that my wife would no longer have to work at the Hilton Garden Inn. We wouldn't have to drop kids off at a babysitter, and we could sit together and eat dinner as a family, which never happened. And I'm the kind of person that believes that you should be able to sit down with your family and eat dinner together. You should be able to go play soccer in the front yard with your husband or your spouse and your kids, and not have them live separate lives. So that was why I was a coach. And second of all, I put that picture of Atlantis I had a double screen in my cubicle. I put it on both screens, and I remember there was like a bubble screensaver, and it was the Atlantis Towers. So every day I got to work, every time my computer went to sleep, I saw what I was working towards, earning that trip. And earning that trip also meant that I had most likely would be able to bring my wife home from work, and that I could take her on that trip. And long story short, we never went on an awesome honeymoon. We made the best of it, but it sucked. Like we were walking through Miami in the heat, dragging our suitcases, trying to find a hotel because we couldn't get in our rental car because I didn't have debit cards or credit cards. I only had cash. So that trip meant a lot to me because it was something that I could earn and provide to her that we hadn't been able to experience before. So that is how I got started. And we've never missed Success Club 10 since that date. And I know a lot of your questions that got asked are kind of going to be answered in this, at least the why type questions. We'll get to some of the technical ones. But I want you guys to know about a very important time in my journey when, like, I knew I would never quit, but there was a point when I was like, when things shifted to a higher level, because I've been a full-time coach now for almost 7 years. Like I had 2 naps today. I busted my ass working. I got up at 4:30, busted my ass, helped a lot of people, led a team call. I'm on a team call for you guys, and I had 2 naps, one at 9:30 a.m. and one at 4:30 p.m. And that's like my dream life. But so going into that, there was a time in my journey when it shifted to this other level where I was like, I want to do this full time. And also to a point where just tell it. I was exhausted. Like if I ever saw another notification from Facebook, I wanted to throw my phone at the wall. I was just overwhelmed because I'm working 12-hour days. Most of them are a-holes that I worked with, just a toxic environment for the most part. And then I have to come home and raise 3 girls, ages 4, 2, and like 3 weeks old when I started as a coach by myself, feed them, bathe them, play with them, put them to bed, and then work after a 12-hour work shift and do a 90-minute yoga on P90X. And so I was tired. I was like, this is tough because I was working my business. It's like, I'm going to tie everything in here. I was working my business 7 days a week. Like for me, it was either go get another job or go back to school to pay these bills or treat this like a real business and get paid for it. So I worked 7 days a week when I put the kids to bed at 8. I worked 8 to 10 was my original goal. And then it became 8 to 11. And then it became 8 to 12. And I always shut it off at 12 because I needed to be up at 4:30. And I did that for 8 months straight, 7 days a week. And I was exhausted. I wasn't ever going to quit Beachbody coaching because I made that decision when I first started that I'm not going to ever quit. But I was at the point where I was like, I'm just going to like back off this thing. Like if people come to me, I'll help them. Like I'm already, almost matching my wife's income. But like, this is just too much. And I remember being sick with the man cold, probably because I wasn't sleeping enough. So make sure you get in your sleep. And I was home from work for like 3 days and on my deathbed. You guys that have husbands know what I'm talking about. And my wife is Gabby. She's like, Scottie, it's time to get up. You should take a shower, get dressed, and go get Keena from the school bus. Now, Keena at this time was 6 years old. 5, almost 6 years old. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. I got dressed and I'm walking down. We live in a cul-de-sac here. I started walking down the cul-de-sac. I was about halfway there and the school bus pulls up. And I remember the sound. I remember everything I remember the squeaking sound of the door opening and the stop sign flinging open. But then I saw these 2 little hands grab the handrail that are like this high on her. And she was getting ready to step down off the bus and she looked up and she saw me and I was only about halfway there. And I saw this smile come across her face that maybe I'd seen before, but I'd never seen. I'd never recognized or felt. And it stopped me. I had tears rolling down my cheeks. I literally couldn't walk. And I asked myself some important questions like, man, how many moments like this have you missed? Because you're working 12-hour days and you come home exhausted, energy to fully give them the best of yourself. And then I asked myself, how many more of these moments will you continue to miss if you don't keep going at this and keep working hard? How many more will you continue to miss? And it was that decision. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let anybody deny me any time with her or any of my kids. And I made the decision that I'm going to be a full-time coach. It's not just going to be bring my wife home from work. I'm going to do, I love doing this. I'm literally working 4 hours a night and I have to force myself to shut it down. I'm going to do this as a full-time job. So I set my goal to make that happen. But there was a moment at that time where I was like, man, if I can do this, I can do this. You guys might not know my story, but I'm a college dropout. I'm an ex-cocaine addict. I used to live in a house with 20 people. I slept in a sleeping bag for $20 a month. And all I had was my laundry basket with some clothes in it and my little bag of cocaine always tucked in my sock. And that's how I lived in my early 20s. And so I said to myself, I knew at that moment, if I can build this business, freaking anybody can do this business, right? If a guy like me can do this, anybody can do this. So that is my story. And that's where my why got even deeper, where I was like, it's not about me anymore. Because at the beginning, I was about helping people transform their life, but it was about, I need to hit Success Club 10. I need to bring my wife home from work. I need to earn $10,000. It became more deeply rooted in, I need to help people get out of the situations that they're in and live their best lives. And because I do that, we get to do awesome things like the income and all that stuff. This is what we do right here. Jatana, I'm gonna insert my plug. This guy, like, Jatana taught us how to use stories to get today. I'm not very good at it. I do it, but I'm kind of just boring. I'm gonna get better, Jatana. I promise you. I'm gonna apply what you taught us today. But I had like Jamie Fitzpatrick is on our team, Jamie and Kim, and I was like, I learned from them how to do Facebook ads because I didn't know how to do Facebook ads. I've done everything organically. And so I was like, okay, how do you run ads when we were about to launch the UK? I ran an ad, found some people, and this guy emailed me. This guy right here emailed me, and he said, Scottie, I'm fat, I'm sick, and I'm about to die. And I responded, and I was like, dude, let's do this. Let's just start. And here he is today, 175 pounds less. He won $15,000. He's one of the 3 finalists in the Beachbody Challenge. And he has a chance to win $100,000 at Summit this year. So I think Jatana will talk about that a little later with you guys. But this is what we get to do. Like, how do I express this? And I want to get to your questions, but like, earning $5.3 million completely changed our lives. My parents both work for me, and they're like, since they were like 58, 59, they're like 62 now. So they haven't had to go to their jobs because my mom's my assistant and my dad's our Manny. He helps us take care of the kids. He cuts the grass. He helps fold laundry. He does dishes. He mops the floor. He changes oil in the car. Like, he does all that stuff, and we provided them opportunity. So the income is awesome because it provided us with that. It's awesome because we've gone on trips that we never would have been able to go on. Our kids have experienced things they've never been able to experience or wouldn't have experienced. But here's something pretty deep that I don't talk about enough. We have 5 kids now. Our 2 sons, they wouldn't be in our lives had I not gone after this Beachbody coach opportunity. We would not have been able to afford them. And so, like, all of the financial stuff, like, it will transform your life, transform the lives of the people around you. But like, I want you to really just think about, like, what is it going to feel like when somebody like this comes to you and says, Brooke or Melinda or Vanessa, Lydia, you saved my life. And we know as coaches that we didn't save their life. We were just not selfish in the fact that we were willing to share openly our lives to connect, so that we could connect with other people and open up that door of communication to where we could figure out what their struggle is and then offer them a solution and the support. So we know we don't change their lives, but it feels incredible. And I don't think there's any other career in the world that can make you feel as fulfilled as I felt personally in this journey. And then, you know, the financial ones are the same. Seeing, like, I've had coaches like $500. I feel that $500 or $250 a week, let's say, a capped out emerald business at $250 a week, $1,000 a month, leaves so much stress in families' lives and in marriages. If we can give people the opportunity to earn an extra $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year. And so, like, we must be bold in sharing this opportunity with other people, because it will change. Like, I honestly think like 95% of the people in your network right now, if you could teach them how to earn $12,000 in a year, they would be like, oh my gosh, this is the most incredible thing. It doesn't have to be about earning 6 figures or earning $1 million or any of those things that you've seen. Remember that people who wouldn't love 1,000 extra a month. Gabby and I literally, like, we would save $20 like every paycheck, $40 before Beachbody, so that we could have like $1,000. So at Christmas time, we could buy an awesome new fridge or the new washer or the new couches that we needed. And that was our life. So I want you guys to think about that. I need a drink because Jatana, like you said, I'm talking really fast too because I want to get through this. So I'm going to go right to your questions. I have some other things I want to go over, but I'm going to save that for Summit because I have some surprises at Summit. I was going to practice on you guys, so I'll just wait you guys. I'll make you guys wait till Summit. We're going to go with this. Sorry, I'm pulling up Jatana's text with these questions. Guys, we have like 20 minutes because I don't know how you function at this time now. Like, I think I'm spoiled now. I like going to bed early, so Kelly says, let's say time is limited one day. What are your top 3 things you'd get done no matter what? Okay, top 3 things. I would work out. I would work out and follow my meal plan. But here's the thing. I'm not going to count that one because I think we're just talking about the business activities right here. Like, you need to get to the point of where working out and eating right is like, yes, it's part of your business, but you do it because it's part of improving your life. Not a business. It is a business activity, but I want to give you 3 things aside from that. But make sure that you're doing that first. I would do my personal development. I would add value. I would create value on social media. And I would reach out. If I only had time to do 3 things, I would reach out to like 3 to 5 new people and start a conversation with them. That's it. And what you're going to find if you have limited time is you're going to find little pockets of time throughout the rest of the day where you can pop in and answer some messages here, check into your group here, check into your group there. But here's the thing, decide, commit, succeed. You have to be committed, because if you're not committed, you don't have a strong rooted why or goals, you're not going to see those opportunities when they come out. An example of that is just the other day, I did 2 prospect calls while I was watching my daughter do her Taekwondo class. Now, normally I just sit in my car, read some personal development books, or I go do some grocery shopping or whatever. But I was like, I need to crush it this month coming out from the cruise. So I just texted 2 of my prospects and I called them, and I did calls with them. So I wouldn't have done that at the point where I'm at in my business had I not have a solid goal and a why and a reason right now. Because I'd be like, I'm just going to kick back, listen to some music or whatever. But because I have a strong goal and strong why and reason still today, I find the opportunity in those little minutes to do that, right? To do that extra thing. So you're always going to, I guarantee you, even if your time is limited, you are going to find more time if you're committed. Okay. Does that make sense? I'm going to tell you guys a quick thing as I get ready for this next question. I remember someone telling a story I think about oftentimes. So I retired my parents, right? And I promised them that I'm going to take care of them for the rest of their lives. They're 60. My dad does these workouts and has drank his shake for 7.5 years. Like, they're pretty healthy. My dad's 63 and he does like incline and decline push-ups and runs around with a 3-year-old all day. And so like I promised them, I'm going to take care of you guys for the rest of your lives. Like they left their jobs, they left their insurance that they had with their jobs, both of them. And so it makes me think about a guy named Craig Holliday that once told a story about, I only take note of this. This may answer every question, because all the rest of the questions, because in all reality, this business is 95% mindset, 5% the mechanics, 5% the stuff like that Jatana teaches on how to do your Instagram stories, to, vibe with your tribe, any of that stuff. I know that's not your word there. Or it could be what's your new coach email look like? What's your onboarding process? That's 5% of your business, guys. 95% is going to be the mindset. And so I remember him telling a story about when he was mentoring somebody, and he had this thing that he did, and I work on doing this as well, where he has his new coach or his new distributor, he has a new coach, like print out pictures of their goals, of their why. So similar to like, that's why I put a screensaver of Atlantis on my computer. He had them put it up on the refrigerator. I'm losing my voice. On the refrigerator. Like, I'm going to take, let's just say, I think it was like, I'm going to take the kids pictures of Disney World, his wife's dream car, like his wife's dream, his kid's dream, put up on the refrigerator. And one time when the business gets hard, because it's going to get hard, and the more you grow, it gets harder. It's simple, but it gets harder. Harder, but more rewarding. This coach of his comes in and says, you know what, I'm going to quit. And he's like, don't tell me you're going to quit. Like, I don't need it. Like, I'm still going to do this. I care about you. I love you. I want you to accomplish the things that you told me. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to go home tonight, walk your wife and your kids into the kitchen, And I want you to I want you to rip that picture of Disney World off the fridge and tell your kids, you know what, kids, your dad doesn't have what it takes. He's not willing to do the work to make this. This is never going to happen for us. This trip is never going to happen. And to his wife, rip the picture of the car. You know what? We're never going to have this car. Like, this isn't for us. And he said, and Craig said, you know what? It's going to take more courage to do that to your family than it will ever take to build this business. And man, that stuck with me so much. And so why am I working at, like, it's not as late as it is for you guys, but why am I working at 7 when I don't usually work at nights? Is because I told him, it's like, just like that picture, I told my parent, it's going to take more courage for me to tell my parents one day, you got to go back to work, or I don't know about that retirement, what you're going to do. It's going to take way more courage to do that than it will ever take for me to get through the hard things and the growth that I need to do to continue becoming the leader that I need to become. Okay, so I want you guys to remember that. So I know that wasn't one of the questions, but I feel it's something that needs to be shared. So Kelly says, what percentage of your income do you spend on marketing assistants, ads per month? I don't run ads. I have 2 assistants. One of them helps me with my DMs, helps me form relationships. And my process is make connections, briefly form relationship, get to a phone call. So I take it from the phone call on. That's my job. I do the phone calls. My assistant does the simple forming, liking, commenting, and he's very similar to me. This guy is like identical to me, just 10 years younger, all the same interests. So that works really well. He makes like $30,000 a year, gets to work from home. My mom is one of my assistants. She runs reports, all of my new customer emails, new lead emails, all of that stuff, does my taxes, all of that stuff, cleans out my email inbox. So she does that. My dad, I already told you what he does. We pay them a combined salary of $100,000 a year. And so that's what I spend. And then I can crush my business, hit Success Club 10 and lead our team. Like, I took 2 naps today. I got up at 4:30, but I literally, aside from this call today and leading the team call with Jatana that she did for our team, I worked 4 hours. 4 hours today. But I work focused. Like, I contacted 30 new people, started new conversations. I did 4 prospect phone calls. I mentored 4 coaches, and I checked into my group, did a live video for them, and got the team on a call today. So you don't have to do a lot of stuff. I did those. Those were the things that I did. So that's how much I spend. So making $1 million a year, Beachbody is not guaranteeing any level of success or income. Sorry, we should have said that at the beginning. Each coach's success is dependent on their own diligence, effort, and skill. So that's about 1/10 of it's about 13% of what I earn. My 2 assistants cost, I spend about that much. Next is, what's one tool you found to be most beneficial? Definitely an assistant, because to assistants, because it allows me to do only the things that I love and that I'm passionate about, which is creating videos, writing content, answering questions, mentoring coaches, and getting to know people on the phone. That's all I want to do as a coach. And then asking people about their goals and pushing them. So that's the most beneficial thing. What was the biggest lesson in your coaching career that helps shape you where you are now? I think a lot of them have been told throughout the story today. Is actually, Tony Robbins says you only have to make a decision once, and then it comes down to managing your decision every single day. So I made a decision that I was going to the top, or I would be found dead on the side trying. So it's not like I made a decision that if it gets hard or really difficult or challenging, then I'll back off. I think I'm going to be bold in saying this. There's 40 people on here. You may say you're committed, but some of you guys in your mind have an out. Like, even if it's like 4 years from now, you're like, if I'm not making this amount or whatever, you have an out. You're like, I'm out. Okay. No trap door, like Mike says. So I think your audience, the people around you, I know they will read through all of your intentions. So if you're like bold and confident on Facebook or on Instagram, but you have an out, then they're not going to there's not going to be a trust and a long-term trust with that. So I'm really about to lose my voice here. Another lesson it's another big lesson. Leaning into Beachbody instead of hiding away or tucking away when it gets hard or ghosting or whatever it is. And even the best of us do that. But guys, I've been through some really hard things. Without going into detail, I had, I'll just name some. And it's not for a pity party, but I know some of you guys are like, this is going on right now, so I can't really give 100%. I had my sister, one of my sisters was in jail for the majority of my first few years with drug problems. Her husband, at the time, committed suicide. He shot himself in the head, and the kids found him. I shattered my collarbone in 8 places. 2 of my kids were sexually molested by people that we trusted. All kinds of things. Gabby and I separated. I thought she would never come back, and I was raising the kids by myself and trying to run this business. But here we are, right? Because what I did during that time, what most people do, is use the things as an excuse. And I use those moments as like, I have to lean into my support group and my team for help. Like when we were separated, I called my accountability partner, and I'm like, dude, this is going, like, I don't know what to do. And like all these things were going on. And I had a friend in Beachbody, right? I leaned in. Instead of just doing my workout, I was doing 3-week yoga retreat with my kids at night because I couldn't sleep. Like I couldn't it was the only way to calm my mind. So I leaned in when the storm got rough. Okay. So that's probably one of the biggest keys that I could give you is leaning in when it gets tough. So, how are you getting coaches started without overwhelming them? Like I have a team training website that's self-paced. But what's really working well right now is I'm not overwhelming them with all the training. I'm just like, hey, in this week, I don't say do this training, do this. I say, hey, I want you to find one person, whether it's a spouse, a friend, a family member, your best friend, a coworker, somebody that trusts you and loves you. I want you to talk to them, tell them why you're doing this, and get them on board to go through this journey with you. And let's sell them a challenge pack as a coach or customer and get you that first win. So that's what I'm doing for onboarding without overwhelming, is getting them that first win. The next thing, it's 9:54 for you guys. So I'm going to go through these like real quick. How do you onboard new customers mid-month or one at a time when you don't have a challenge group going? Okay, this is awesome. So I've tried all of the things for challenge groups. And like I've done the app, I've done 30-day groups, 60-day groups, program-specific groups, running 3 different groups at a time. And I realized that when I first started my journey, all I did was have one support group and community. Okay? One support group and community. And we just like had an awesome freaking time working out and sharing what we were doing and doing fun little challenges on top of our workouts. And so it was at Summit this past year, like 7.5 years into my journey. I was like, okay, I'm not having as much fun with my challenge groups. We're not having as good of results. I'm not recruiting coaches as good from my groups. Like, what's going on? And I was like, I'm trying to do what everybody else is doing or what they're teaching. Go back to what you did that brought you the most success. So I run one ongoing group, and I bring people on when they start. Like, so I have an ongoing community. I just call it the Dynasty Strong Virtual Gym. So that's what personally works best for me. And I found that the best because like I'd be super pumped up and excited. I'd go live in one of my groups, and then I'd find that I would just copy that video and paste it. I would download that video and post it into the other group. And I felt that like if I had 4 groups, 25% of my people were getting the 100% me, and the other ones were getting the half-assed version. And so it didn't feel good, didn't feel right. It felt like I was just too much. Like, I don't like being on Facebook all day. So I didn't want to be in so many groups. So I just want one group in and out, like once a day, maybe twice a day. So that's what I do. That's what works for me. Okay. I have permission. I asked him if I could share this in the team. So I'm going to share something with you guys. This is how I coach people. And this is going to be the same. I do this for my prospects. I do this for my customers. And I do this also for my coaches. Sorry, I'm loading. I'm not a very good multitasker. So he wrote me a message the other day, and I'm gonna show you how I respond to people. Okay, and in the very beginning, I'm a people pleaser naturally. So in the beginning, it's like, oh, go ahead and like next week, let's pick it up and let's get started again. But that just didn't work. People that I couldn't create emeralds, I couldn't create diamonds. And when I shifted the way that I mentor people, which is like a coach would, I thought about, and I'm going to give you this analogy, and we're not going to answer any more of those questions. I'll just do this. I'll share specific mentoring type questions. Remember, you can use it for your prospects, customers, and coaches. But I was a baseball player. So I thought about it. I thought about my coaching journey, and I thought about the best baseball coaches I had, because I thought I was going to be a pro baseball player. That was going to be my path in life. I played in the Little League World Series. I played ball like since I was little. And ended up not happening, obviously. But I remember the best coach that I ever had was like, when I played third base, pitcher, and shortstop. And I remember we would just do drills. Drills would be like, he hits the ball, you ground the ball, you throw it to first, right? So I want you to think about this. Whatever sport it is you might have played or practiced an instrument, I remember what he did to us that made us great is like, let's say when you fill the ball, you got to like kind of put one knee down, put your whole body in front of the ball, and get your mitt all the way to the ground. That way, if it bounces, it hits you. It doesn't get past you. None of this to the side fancy stuff. You got to have the right, you got to train the right way. So let's say he hits it, and it's like a wild hit, and like I just throw my mitt down to the side, and I get lucky, and I get it. And I throw it for a perfect throw. We would have to pop out like 50 push-ups and then like lap the baseball diamond like 5 times. Because even though we scored or we accomplished, we didn't do it the right way. And if you don't do things the right way, you don't form good habits. Does that make sense? But like if he hit it hard and I put my knee down, get in front of it, and it hits off my shoulder and goes past me, we don't have to run laps and do push-ups because we did the right thing. We just missed. Okay, so when you're a coach, I was like, I need to make sure that my people, my prospects, my audience that want to be future teammates or whatever, that I am teaching them the proper fundamentals of how to operate and live their life so they can be successful human beings, because successful human beings will be great at coaches. So let me give you an example of a new coach. He's a brand new emerald. I won't say his name, but I'm going to just go through this. It's going to be long, okay? So bear with me, but we'll get through it in less than 10 minutes, I promise. Hey, Scottie, it's like you guys have got these messages. It's a combination of 9 different messages before I ever answered. Have you ever gotten those? It's like, okay, so I was like, okay, I got to get focused and get on it. And when I answer messages, I don't even read the whole. I answer questions as I go. I'm like, number 1, number 2, and then I get to the end. So I'm gonna share with you what this looks like real quick. I'll just read it. It says, hey, Scottie, man, I didn't get to do anything done yesterday. My job is so bad. The lawsuit starts next Tuesday. We have a meeting scheduled with the county attorney end of this week, and I'll skip some stuff. Subpoenas. Our big boss is taking a more active role. My boss is being sued, trying to bring me down, bring me into it all. There's a huge chess game going on. I filed a grievance against my boss. After that, the ladies that were involved also didn't back up what we said for the boss. They're scared of our boss. He's gone to them. Okay, I've adjusted my schedule for Beachbody workout activities to do it at home. I was doing it in the minutes throughout my day as well, but my Beachbody work has gotten sporadic and I'm not focused. The problem is when I get home after a day like yesterday, I don't get anything done. I just have to give my mind a rest sometimes. Mondays are always the worst. I don't want to use that as an excuse. Don't you love when they just say that? I feel like I am, and if you are that person, pay attention. I'm not a quitter, never have been. When I started this business, I decided I was going to be patient, learn it, and I will be successful with it. I've learned a lot and grown a lot. I'm a professional. I'm confident in the construction industry. I had to learn a whole new skill set for this business. I love it. I like being challenged. I'm convinced that I can grow my skills and abilities. The issue at work has been going on ever since I started coaching. I know there will always be distractions, and that's why I feel like at times I'm using the lawsuit as an excuse. I hope not. I'm reading a lot of Grant Cardone's books. I'm starting to really study about Shakeology so I can be more confident. I haven't been consistent these past 3 months. I can be consistent with my workout and with my income producing activities, but I'm struggling with the time it takes to do both each day. I know if I can work on it full time, I can be successful. I've invested in some awesome training with Team Builder, Jesse Reagan. I haven't had time to complete it all, and I must do that. I'm sitting on a gold mine with this training. I am working on some things to make it happen. I'm talking to a guy that will give me a business loan. I can pay myself a small salary while I'm building my business full time. I don't teach that, by the way. I hope that will work out, and I'll take early retirement and do this. I just want to check in with you, keep you up on what's going on. I try not to bother you with Beachbody questions. I go to FAQ or chat with support people for things like that. I could use some wisdom. Thanks for your support. Oh, one other thing, my why is because of my commitment, work ethic, and being a company man. I've never been appreciated or compensated for my dedication and effort on my jobs. I realize that I need to be self-employed. That's my why. Talk to you later. I have learned for me to be consistent with my income producing activities. I told you there's a lot. And the stuff distracting me from that. Dude, I'm at work now. The thing is, it's not normal distraction. When you have a fear for the safety of yourself and family, not normal to have that fear that, okay, more fears about whatever's going on at work. It's just like a domestic situation. It's not good at all. Okay, so when I come home, I'm like ready to go. But if I hesitate at all, I'm completely exhausted from the day. With that, I feel like I'm using the situation as an excuse. Often, I feel like my situation is different than most people. I don't need to lose 100 pounds, but I need to gain 50 and build muscle so I don't feel people can relate. So, okay. And then he said, if you need to tell me to suck it up, then just do it. Okay. I can't see you guys, so I'm going to look at you guys real fast. Okay. So that was a message that I got today. And I'm going to read the response to show you. Guys, you need to be coaches for people. Coach yourself first with these type of questions. So if you're saying things like that, I'm not hitting Success Club, whatever your things are, you need to see what you're saying, what excuses you're saying. And then here's my answer. Remember, I answered this as I went. So at the end, I was like, that's funny. I just saw that you said that to call you out. I said, first of all, I'm pumped that you are an emerald. So give praise. It's the first step and roll into leadership position, and the role and your role is now people count on you to figure this out and to grow as their leader. Next, number one, and I labeled them. Number one, the fact that you're talking about the lawsuit so much versus asking for ideas to brainstorm on how to build the business shows that you are, in fact, using the lawsuit as an excuse. So it will be necessary that you remove it. Saying that you can be successful when you are full-time versus right now is excuse number two. Eliminate it or you'll never grow and attract the right people. Excuse number three, bringing up the fact that the stuff at work is distracting you. You are giving that meaning to the stuff at work. Eliminate that. Excuse number four, you're using the exhausted feeling when you get home as an excuse. Number five, your situation is not different than most people. That's an excuse. We all have bad shit going on. And then I said a couple of the things that I mentioned to you, to him. All of these things happened in the last 8 years that I've been a coach. It's funny that when I started to respond to this, as I read it, and I'm just now seeing at the bottom that I can tell you to suck it up. Ha ha ha, smiley face. Let's go, brother. Create more empowering statements for yourself in place of those excuses. So you guys see how it's important to show empathy as a coach, but not let people live in their excuses because they'll never grow if you allow that in their life. So I'm going to end with this concept of empowering thoughts, beliefs, empowering questions. There's going to be things that happen to you. You can either create empowering meaning to them or disempowering meaning and thoughts to them. And what I mean by that, it could be like, I could build a business and hit Success Club points and advance like Jatan. I was Miss Virginia or whatever it is. Or if I had 100,000 plus followers, I could, like Scottie, if I would have started in 2011, I could hit Success Club through this trial with my kid. If I didn't have so much stress about, you know, the notices on late on the mortgage, I could have the energy to help people. Like all of these things. But everybody is saying that it's too expensive. Like all of the things you guys are saying, all of them are going to keep you from building the business that you want. Or building a business that's successful and rewarding. So what I want you to do is like, okay, maybe this has motivated you, pumped you up, gave you an aha moment of some sort, but I want you to, over the next week, month, the rest of your life, whenever you catch yourself saying something in your mind, it doesn't have to come out, I want you to write it down, the disempowering ones, write it down, then write an empowering statement. So it would be like, okay, club, but all of my friends are college students and they don't have enough money, right? So you're saying something like that. It could be anything, right? Or they're newlyweds with a new baby and they don't have any money. Like any of these statements, and then rewrite it and say, because I am committed to my mission as a coach, I will do whatever it takes to find people who are driven and as passionate as me about crushing life goals, right? Do you see how those two statements are completely different? So I want you to write them down, write down the negative, okay, cross them out, and then write the more empowering ones. Those are going to be your affirmations that you put up on your mirror, on your fridge, sticky notes on your laptop, or whatever it is. And let's start changing the way you think. And one way that I really helped one of my leaders that was stuck at Diamond for 3 years, and she's now a 2-star, almost a 3-star Diamond. She'll be elite this year. Is like every week, it was like, I think I'm going to quit. Like, this is not worth it. I'm going to start my own personal training courses. Like, works as hard as I do. Nobody has work ethic like me. Like, that was what I got every week for like 3 years. And I would talk to her about your thoughts and your personal development and all of that stuff. And one of the things that changed her 100% is I said, here's what I want. You have a team, right? You have coaches, because she's a Diamond coach. And I was like, I want you to pretend that every thought that is in your head, because your posts on Facebook are like this passionate, this is changing my life, I love this. And then your message to me is, this sucks. I don't think I can do this. This is draining my energy. This is not fulfilling. I'm going to create my own personal training courses and sell them so I don't have to try to get people to do stuff, right? And so I told her, here's what I want you to do. I want you to, this is what I told her, I want you to imagine that there's a megaphone to your thoughts, and your entire social media, your Instagram following, your team, your coaches, your customers, imagine that they can hear those things that you're saying in your head every day and the things that you're saying to me. And it was like a moment like, aha. And she wasn't having the success she wanted because she was incongruent, which means she's saying one thing, acting a different way. So with your thoughts, empower your thoughts. That happened to me. One of my big shifts was, oh man, it's 10 after. Okay. One of my biggest shifts, like I was a Diamond for 14 months before I went to 1-star Diamond, and I went to 5-star Diamond the next 3 months, to elite top 10, number 4 in the company the next year. So what shifted is I realized that I sat at my office and I'm like, I'm taking Gabby to the Bahamas. We're earning this free trip. I crush Success Club 10 every month. I find people who want to change their life, right? And so like I could say all of those things confidently, but then here I am in my team page. What the F is wrong with everybody? Why does nobody do anything? Why can't people just like commit? And why are they watching television? Why are they complaining about this? Why are they not, like, why can't they even sell one freaking challenge pack? Like, it's easy. Like, that's what my mind was saying. And as soon as I changed my thoughts at work to be like, these guys are going to crush it. Like, I have incredible people on our team. What can I do to help them take their life to the next level? What can I do? What questions can I ask them to get them past the roadblocks that are in their life? So the same thing was for me. That megaphone like concept I had to apply into my own life, and everything shifted at that point. So I could go on for like 5 more hours, but I'm gonna let you guys go to bed because it's like 10, 11, I don't know, 10, 11 your time for most of you guys. So thank you guys for having me on, and I will be quiet now, Jatana.
No, don't be quiet. Keep going. I can listen all night. We love it. Thank you so much, Scottie, for taking time away from your sleep and your 3-year-old. We really appreciate you. If you guys can give them some love. And then also go back to your team pages. Anything that you've had as an aha moment, post it in your team page so that we can encourage others to get on these calls so we can hear this incredible wealth of knowledge from these speakers. Thank you so much, Scottie, for your time. All right, guys. Good night. Bye.